ICE raids have reportedly begun across the country. Those planned sweeps target around 2,000 immigrants in 9 cities.
While Phoenix is not one of the cities that is a focus for these raids, tensions here still remain high. Team 12's Matt Yurus is live in the Alert Center. Matt, it seems like a lot of the raids are kind of off to a slow start, though.
That does seem to be the case so far, at least. NBC News reports that as of early Sunday afternoon, there was little evidence of massive immigration enforcement. Take a look here. The raids are reportedly planned, as we said, to take place in major cities, including New York, Denver, and Los Angeles. But again, not in Phoenix. Locally, however, as you see here, protesters took to the streets Friday night. Police say 16 people were arrested. While ICE removals under the Trump administration are behind President Obama's, there is heightened concern about the treatment of immigrants. Take a listen.
They're treating people that look like me, people that look like my mom, people that look like my neighbors. They're treating them in many different inhumane ways.
The president says the so-called raids are legally removing people who came here illegally. The enforcement action is expected to last a few days and target those who have deportation orders. We're live in the Alert Center. Matt Yurus, Today in AZ.